Just like we were talking about orchestration with respect to AI agents in the back office, front office, and all of that, the same kind of orchestration needs to happen with all of these data sources in medicine. Neil, look at this article, right? Like, so this is based on blood tests. So if you combine blood tests with AI, then you can come up with colorectal cancer prognosis. Now, this is very, very interesting. So you combine this data, and then the last time when we met with the microbiome folks from Biome, you get that data, you get the endoscopy data, and then you have all of this whole body ultrasound data. When Matt was speaking, I was just thinking, the, again, slight tangent to what I want to frame. If you think of antibiotics, it was rich people medicine 50 years ago. Only the very few could afford it. Now everybody affords it. Now we are getting to the point that don't give me, like if you're rich, you would say, don't give me antibiotics. Like, so I want to take a wellness approach to healing this condition. Unless it is absolutely necessary, I don't want to go there. So that's where we have come. So right now it may be, yeah, all the people who can afford this, and it's the Brian Johnsons of the world who potentially do this every day. Like, Matt, when you were saying that, that's what I was thinking. What if you do this every single day and that data becomes available, and then you have algorithms reading through this, plus you have the microbiome data, plus you have stool data, and plus you have all the blood tests. Like, so you have all of this, and there are AI layers or orchestration layers that are architected on top of this. And then there is Neil. The patient comes to Neil. So, Neil, what would happen? Like, what would we do in such a world? Because I don't think, I heard you say like 30 years and all, but I personally, I don't think like, we are that far out, because this is more than doubling right now. People like miss the exponential rate of change that's happening. So we'll see another eight doublings before the end of the decade. By 2029, it looks like AGI will be a reality. Before 2035, if all our homes will have humanoid robots running around. Your surgery centers will be full of humanoid robots assisting you. The agentic AI stuff will all be done. So we're talking of that kind of a world. It's not really too far out.
When you talk about all that, and then Neil, you mentioned, the guidelines that are developed in medicine, and I think it's like incredibly admirable the way that science has been executed in medicine to create these guidelines and to do it using rigorous studies. But like a major area that I think, especially the U.S. healthcare system, could stand to evolve is get much more aggressive with updating these guidelines and running studies and kind of forcing much more randomization in healthcare so that we can evolve the guidelines faster and figure out how do we incorporate all these new data streams and incorporate AI. And when it comes to like colorectal cancer, we also need to take into account that the treatments for colorectal cancer are also getting better and are evolving. So is the disease itself as deadly? And all of this it's very, very complex. And the only way to really know if we're making the right decision is to run good experiments and see what's working and what's not. I was at an event last night associated with the conference called Bio. That's big biopharma conference here in San Diego. A lot of really interesting discussion, and someone mentioned that in one of the Middle Eastern kingdom states, because the government pays for everybody's healthcare and pays for everything, people just make money from the oil wealth. They basically force enrollment into clinical trials, and they can execute very large clinical trials because everyone's healthcare is managed through the same app and through the government healthcare system. And so when they have a question about, should we be prescribing drug A versus drug B, they just turn on a study and they randomize everyone and they answer the question basically instantly. And that obviously is very hard to pull off here in the US, but I do think In the US, maybe the way to do it is through technology and creating those sorts of opportunities. And if you can run a study like that, you can just enhance knowledge so much faster.
It's so amazing.
Matt, actually, sorry, Praveen. I think you, Matt, you know both these Stu Ackerman and Mike Satch have actually recently used AI because this is another whole field, and they basically do we need to spend all the years doing literature-based studies, or can we generate studies faster using AI? And they basically designed a study, executed a study, and produced results. Um, I think within a few days, if I remember
Amazing.
correctly. So a lot of you're absolutely right. I mean, what we've done before does not need to be the way we're doing going forward. And again, I'm very, very bullish that this is going to drive a shift in terms of how physicians practice. Because again, this is what our patients, who are our consumers, are going to want. They're going to want the future analysis. And really, Praveen, the article that you showed there, to me, that's where precision medicine should be, right? I
Hmm.
mean, that's basically taking data, personalized data, and using AI to interpret it at a faster level, and then giving me a synthesis. Right? There's some, I forget the name of the company. There's some company that I had spoken to a few months ago that was going to basically synthesize all the patient's data and send me a quick whatever blurb before the patient walks in. That's just before, right? That's just history taking. That's one aspect. But eventually, you just have everything done, all the data put together, microbiome, stool, endoscopic imaging, everything you have in the patient, and you forecast.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Neil, in such a world, what would Dr. Parikh do?
I mean, I think it would make a lot of my job very, very warming, right? I would take a lot of the data synthesis that I do currently out of my hands, right? A lot of what I do is collecting data from a variety of sources, and then I try to put it together and try to make sense of it for the patient. In this world, a lot of that would be already geared towards me, telling me, hey, this is what's going to work probably best for the patient. So then I would just be having the conversation with the patient. This is what is predicted to be the best case scenario for you. These are the downsides of that best case scenario. This is what, based on my experience, has worked for people like you. What do you want to do? And then going forward, it would be really, okay, give me an update in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, what's worked, what's not worked.